And this is The In Show. And I'm your host, Gus Summers. It's good to be back with you today. We got another great show. That's right. We are broadcasting live from the Sunset Strip at our In Show studios right here in the heart of Hollywood, the entertainment capital of the world. And we have a great in-studio guest, MK Ultra. MK.
Yes, how are you, man?
And, no complaints. No
Good,
complaints. I love the name, by the way.
Thank you.
Because it reminds me of those programs, they talked about in the 60s.
Oh, yeah. Basically, I've really been big on American history, when I was in college. It was one of my favorite subjects to do and whatnot. And I went through some things, in my bio it explains about the car accidents I've been in, and they've been really, life-changing, and, just going to different doctors, different orthopedists and everything to, kind of get my back back into shape. And being a young guy, I kind of, started to feel like an experiment after a while, and if I didn't go through those experiences, I definitely wouldn't have named my project MK Ultra. But yeah, it's something everyone always comments on the name, and most people like it, and they like the analogy with it, so I'm happy about that.
So did you come across it because of some readings that you've done, or did someone just happen to mention, were they a conspiracy theorist?
No, I was intrigued by it. And I found out about it when I was recovering from, I was in 3 major car accidents, and how I came across it was during that time. And I remember I was in New York City, and I was watching a show on it and everything like that. And the point is government conspiracies and all that sort of stuff. They happen now, just on a different level, and obviously with the CIA and everything else. I mean, I'm sure that sort of stuff is still going on. Obviously the normal public isn't supposed to know what's going on, but this part of history really got a lot of people like, whoa, really, our government would do that, so there's a lot of speculation with it too, like what's really real, what's really not, and I just found it interesting,
Oh, yeah, you bet, because I think it gives a good mystique,
yeah,
the persona and the music and everything that you're trying to do. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want the music to fit what the name is, and everything I write is pretty much comes from my own personal experiences, and comparing it to MK Ultra, Project MK Ultra, I call it documentation, obviously, for 2 reasons, because there's a lot of lost documentation in the practices of MK Ultra, but also just because it kind of documents my life at the same time.
Right. That's a good little segue. How about your development of your music? When did that begin? Was that something that you did when you were, young, when you were, a child, or was it something as you matured that you really got into your music?
Yeah, I was playing bars at like 14, and I'm from the Northeast, so it was a great, exciting time in my life. All we had to worry about was going to school and playing in a band, and that was just great. And we were getting paid on the side for playing these gigs, and we were 6 years under drinking age, so the rule there was you have to be performing to be in the bar, and some were looser than others, but it was a great time. And it kept on progressing, and in my other acts, and we started off, with like Nirvana covers and stuff like that, and then went to, Led Zeppelin and all that stuff, and the Beatles, and it kind of helped shape my sound to writing original material. And I've been in original bands since I was like 18 and whatnot, and saw some great success, been on some amazing tours, and I think music is definitely the most powerful thing in my life as far as getting everything off my chest. It's a great positive outlet,
Right. And were you, as you were enjoying your music and playing, your friends, were they friends from the neighborhood, friends from school who joined your band?
Yeah, actually, two people that play live with me with MK Ultra are childhood friends from high school that moved all the way from Maine to California, and it wasn't really for this project. This project didn't exist until just recently, but it's been really well received, and they kind of jumped on the bandwagon, and obviously Aaron, who was my best friend all through childhood, produced the record, and then I had Tommy Walter, another good friend from the Eels, and Abandoned Pools mix it, and Gary Larson, who's a Grammy Award winner, master it. So going back to the origin of your question, yeah, I mean, it's like the people I make music with are like brothers, I've known them for more than half my life. So
right. Right. So there's an intimate connection. So
yeah.
You think that connection, well, obviously, I would assume there is, really has an influence on the music, especially how you envision it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when this was a solo project, so I did all the instruments. Aaron did some instruments, being the producer, of course, and whatnot. But yeah, the connection is completely there. Like, when we played live at the Avalon for the LA Music Awards, and whether we're playing Long Beach, and we have a show coming up promoting. It's a showcase for Substance Co., which is my radio promotions company, and Visionary, which is my management record company, and they're all involved with everything. Like Aaron will produce some of my artist records that are signed to EMI and stuff like that, and he's great, and the drummer Kramer is great too. I mean, we met him in high school, and he was just learning to play drums, and now, in my opinion, he's one of the best drummers, around. So
fantastic,
yeah.
Fantastic. It's great to be surrounded by big talent, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it makes us all better. It's like we know what each person is capable of doing, so we're always trying to impress the other person, or do that, and it just not necessarily show off, but it's like there's no bickering in the band or any like, oh, well, I don't want to do this type of thing. It's just like, let's have some fun,
Fantastic. So, and you brought in some music, so we're going to play some of that. You want to play a track now, or you want to wait for a little bit?
No, we can play a track now.
You want to do that now? Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Let's Go.
Yep.
Do you want to do that one? Tell me a bit about that one.
Yeah, that song was the first single off the album. We made a video for it. It's definitely the more tongue-in-cheek, track on the album. Basically, it's about, people growing up and, making mistakes and everything else, and then looking back on it and being like, well, well, hopefully most people grow out of, I want to go out and party every Saturday night. That's not really me. It's I'm too busy to do that, because I care about my careers. I care about, spending time with my fiance and all that sort of stuff. So, you grow out of it. So that's basically what the song's about,
Just growth and maturity.
Growth and maturity, yeah. Like, I told you, 15, we were playing in bars and we thought it was great. It's
Sure.
like, wow, we're around all these older people, we're playing for them and all that. But, it's basically about, how falling into the rock and roll lifestyle is not all that it's cracked up to be.
All right. And you've walked your course, and now here you're at the other side.
Yeah,
reflecting.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I like to drink tea now.
Hey, oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a good cup of tea.
Yeah.
All right, so here's K. Otra, and his song, Let's Go.
Strap me down. Shoot me up. Knock me out. Just give me a pill. This is our cancer, American cancer. Intoxicated, self-medicated, and you're unprotected. Put on your makeup and get done up. Let's get corrupt and let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. I can like say all this on the radio, right?
I'm looking at the FCC regulations right now, Sandra. Calm down.
Okay, just don't wanna offend anyone. I'm stressed as I need my fix from the leaders to fight this war. Heal the sores. This is our cancer, American cancer. Intoxicated, self-medicated, and you're unprotected. Put on your makeup and get done up. Let's get corrupt and let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. We are cancer, we'll spread, and you can't stop us. We are poison, drink us down, and now trip out. So addicted, you're faded, blind to everyone around you. No more makeup, can't stand up, fully corrupt now, we can't go. Yeah, we can't go. Ooh, we can't go. Yeah, we can't go. We can't go.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Gus.
You know, it's your music has this way of kind of gently taking you like adrift.
Yeah.
You know, that was my when I heard your music, that was my feel. It's like you're sitting on on your boat, and slowly, you know, the tide's taking you out there. You got this smooth way of presenting your music.
Yeah, I mean that's something I definitely try to do. You know, I try to add a lot of ambience to it. You know, in that song, you know, there's no guitars or anything like that. It's all synths, live drums, live bass, and then a lot of other stuff. And that song actually, I started recording while I was getting my music industry degree in Oneonta, New York. So I brought it out here, brought it into the studio, changed some things, changed the drum beat, all that sort of stuff. And so that song's been sitting around for quite a long time. So
How do you feel that your music's evolved since then?
Well, I'm working on my second album now, and I can tell you, I'm glad people are enjoying documentation and liking it, but it's definitely, the second album's definitely at a different level for me, just because, I'm getting more used to singing correctly and all that sort of stuff. Like I've never before this project, I wasn't really the lead singer. I was a songwriter, bass player, guitarist, and with this, I kind of spearheaded the project. And it was a time in my life too where I was going through recovery and everything, where I'm just like, I have to do something new and inspiring and kind of face your fears, because I never really pictured myself. Well, I mean, maybe I did picture myself, but singing is such a. If your lead singer is bad, your whole band's bad. So there's a lot of pressure on it. It's just like if your drummer can't keep a beat, you don't have an album. Unless it's right on the click track. So it's. I'm glad I dove into it that way, though. I mean, I still consider myself more of a songwriter than a vocalist.
Yeah. So, what made you evolve into a vocalist? So just a natural progression of it? You wanted to, do a solo album, just handle the whole project?
Yeah, I mean, you get comfortable as it goes along. Writing songs, obviously, you have to sing the melody, and whatnot.
Right.
And, I kind of like half tried singing the melody because I was, didn't want to belt it out and be like, okay, here it is. But with this, it's like, all right, no fear, here I am, and it's gotten a better reaction than any record I've ever done before. So it's really pleasing to do that, and I think it also shows that if anyone has motivation and puts their mind to something, they can do it.
Right.
I'm still always trying to better myself every day.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. Personally, music-wise, and
yeah,
the whole gamut.
Yeah, the whole thing. With living life, I try to improve on things, and not just do the same thing every day. Like with this album, I'm making sure the next album has a much different feel, and I feel like the songs are better because when I wrote this, I was knee deep in a lot of recovery from the accident, so I was hurt as well, and that's what really made me, want to go for it, because I'm like, I need something inspiring in my life.
Fantastic, beautiful. That's wonderful. It's wonderful when life throws those curveballs at you.
Yeah.
You're able to take a swing and hit a home run like you did.
Yeah, that's completely right. In life, it's like you have these, it's hills and valleys, whatever you want to call it, and I think people should just go out there and do whatever they really feel strongly about, whether they're scared of it or not. I was. My producer, Aaron, he was the lead singer in all the bands, and, he's been singing since he was 5 years old, and, I'm not really a classically trained singer like him, and, but, he helped a great deal with me finding the sweet spot melodies in the song and stuff like that, with the melody and singing and harmonies, stuff like that. I mean, so it's like, for people, I'd advise just don't be afraid of anything, because that's the philosophy I kind of live through every day. I'm never afraid.
Right. Take the bull by the horn. Or what
Yeah,
have you.
exactly.
Fantastic. I love it. MK, I got to take a quick commercial break. Love the sound. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, sharing your music and your story. We still got plenty of time, so I'm looking forward to some more of your music.
All right, sounds
Appreciate
great, man.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, well, this is Gus Summers, and you've been listening to The In Show. And we have in-studio guest MK Ultra, and we've been listening to one of his tracks, and of course, we have plenty of time to listen to so much more. But we got to take a quick commercial break, so you hang in there. We'll be right back. This is Gus Summers, and you've been listening to The In Show. We have in-studio guest MK Ultra. MK, again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's fascinating because we were talking off air, the turns that life makes.
Oh, yeah.
You were telling me how you came back, played your music, and then went back to school,
Yeah.
and then got a degree in
Music
music.
industry,
Yeah, tell me
yeah.
about that. Tell me what prompted you to go back.
Well, what prompted me was I was working at a store, and basically they offered me a position for like $60,000 to $70,000 a year, and in where I was from, Maine, that money goes a long way.
Right.
LA's a different story, but and I asked myself, at that point, I wouldn't have had time for my music because I would have been doing like literally 60 hours a week minimum, and it's a salaried job, so it's
And everything that goes with it.
yeah, and it was very stressful. I mean, I was doing the job basically before they offered me the promotion, but I just I was like, I'd rather do something I absolutely love than have a ton of money. So I went to college late. I wasn't obviously I wasn't someone that just went to high school and to college, and it's a great experience. I learned a lot of theory about music there that helps me now. What a minor third is, what a dominant seventh is, and all that music stuff that can make your song really colorful. So I learned a lot of that. A lot of business stuff, like music business legal classes, so you know what's legal and what's not, because people love to rip you off in the music business. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things. It's like I can either go back to school and do this, or I can stay in Maine and can make a lot of money but not be satisfied. And to me, if you're satisfied, money doesn't really give me happiness. It's like but you need it to live, so obviously you need to make money. But the fact of the matter is the music business is not in a good time right now. The whole industry is not in a good time, but I love what I do, and I found several ways to make money through it,
Right.
So.
So when you were going through school, you, like you mentioned, you learned theory and such. Did that have an impact on your creating your music, or did it just now give you some additional avenues and technically how to create your music, but didn't really have a creative impact on you?
It gave me more the avenues. It's like when you're writing a song, and it can actually throw you off if you're thinking, oh well, the natural thing is going from the fifth back to the first when you end like a guitar riff or something like that. But then if you think that way, then all your songs are going to sound the same. But at the same time, when you're learning all the scales like Locrian, Aeolian, and all that sort of stuff, you know what notes to go to depending on what guitar chord's been playing and all that. So I did a lot of jazz bass and all that sort of stuff in guitar, and at the school, and I created a band there that did really good because it was a huge college town, and we played a lot of great shows. Then we kind of went our separate ways after college because we didn't have the bond that I'm playing music with now in MK Ultra.
Right.
I mean, it was still great friends and everything, but it wasn't one of those things like I honestly believe who I play with now. It's like we're meant to play music together.
Yeah, you found that connection.
Yeah.
What was the band's name in college?
It was Spoken Truth.
Spoken Truth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great name.
Yeah. We were kind of like think a softer version of Rage Against the Machine.
Nice.
That type
Nice.
of stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now that you went through that process, you went through going to college. And you are now here, making a go of your music business. You're a manager. You're not only an artist. When you find a group, and they're green, they're raw, they're still developing their sound, or may getting their feet wet in the industry. What's maybe not necessarily one thing? What are the few things that you tell them to kind of guide them towards success?
That's interesting because when I was at Warner Brothers, at the Key Club, I did a couple A&R things, and basically, I was the rep for Warner, then there would be a Hollywood's Records rep and everything like that. And what would happen after is we'd critique the artists, and you don't want to shatter someone's dream or anything like that, but you have to tell the truth, because I feel like they pay to perform in front of us, so you have to tell the truth. And the thing is, it's not about how good you can shred on a guitar for commercial music. That's good and tasteful once in a while, and it's you have to have a cohesive image. You really have to look at the lead singer and see if he has star quality or not, and the drummer. I mean, those two members of the band are actually, I feel, the most important part of the band.
Right.
Yeah,
you're right.
If it's like always lead singers, they just have to have that charisma when they go on stage, put on a show, get the crowd into it, no matter how big or small it is.
Right.
Yeah. And play every night like that.
You bet. No, that's a great point, because you hear there are a lot of singers, technically sound, they sound beautiful, but they lack that thing. Big names, big bands. What are some big names that come to mind when you think, yeah, he has it, she has it, from so and so? Like one name that comes to mind always: Steve Perry.
Yeah.
Journey.
Yeah.
Not only could he sing, but there was a quality to him. How about from your point of view? Are there a couple that just jump right out?
I think Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails.
Nice.
Because he is someone that when he's performing, you can tell he's putting every ounce of energy he possibly can to make it a good show, and he's always right on point, right on key, and he's a perfectionist. You can just tell it. He may not be like Journey and be able to hit those really high notes and everything, but
right.
It's a different style of music, and that's why I wanted to pick something, a different style from Journey, because it's like both of those singers work very well. It's just it's something you have to really work really hard to have, and some people have it naturally. They just they're a performer, because that's when it comes down to it, that's what people want to go out and see. They want to see a singer that can perform. They want to be entertained. They want to be like, wow, that was an experience.
Right. It's fascinating, because you see all these shows on television, and there are some that do stand out, and you see the others that end up winning or what have you. I'm thinking, what are you guys looking at? Maybe my ear isn't as sharp as everyone else's, but I know what I like, and I know what I hear, and it's like, I don't hear anybody hitting any notes. I'm hearing them hit the wrong notes.
Oh, yeah. Well, a lot of people have great voices but don't know how to sing,
Nice.
That's something, there are many singers in today's contemporary music that they struggle hitting the notes, but they have a certain charisma, and obviously in the studio we have the technology now to make them sound a lot better than they do live.
Right.
Pretty much anyone sounds better on record than they do live, because we just have that technology now. Back in the 70s, the 60s, and all that, it's like you really had to be good. You look at someone like John Lennon, and he hated his voice, but he just, the way he sang with the drawn out notes a lot and everything else, I mean, I think he's one of the biggest, vocal influences for me, at least,
Hey, I think you hit something right in the head. And I always mention to somebody, you have to hear them a cappella.
Yeah.
How is it all stripped down? Or I get a lot of artists in here who come in just play acoustically,
Yeah.
just them and the guitar, and it's like, oh, beautiful. Because I know what you sound like on your record, on your CD
Yeah,
that you're giving
yeah.
me, but here you are, plain as day. Nice. That sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
It's when when it's all done up. I think, in my opinion, there's a difference between show. You got
Yeah.
the lights and the thing. Oh, okay, that's fine. But when you know that the vocals aren't there,
Yeah.
and it's not just a show, it's an actual whole camouflaging of everything versus just, there's pyrotechnics, but I know you sound great, Michael Jackson. Because
Yeah.
we've heard
Oh,
you
yeah.
sing, we've heard
Yeah.
you evolve, we know you can sing.
Oh, he's great. He's great. Yeah.
Versus other people's like, yeah, I know you can't sing.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of it comes down to the secrets of the music business.
Right.
It's like Jimmy Iovine, of Interscope Records. You can tell that he's just thinking of making stars, and that's it. And
Right.
it's sad in the music business now because they want to sign a band that's absolutely ready to go. They've achieved a lot themselves.
Nice.
When there was bands, back in, even the early 90s, they'd signed to development deals, and they'd get them voice lessons and everything like that, and really tried to build the artist. Now it's like, okay, you've had to already been on the radio, you already had to tour a certain amount of dates, and what else do you have in place? It's a very different industry than it was even 10 years ago. I mean, it's so different.
Because you hear, and I think you hit on such a great truth. It's like in everything. Well, how many fans do you have? Do you have this? They no longer want to invest in you to develop you.
No.
They just want you to be ready to go. And then what have you? Because I remember a story about Queen, Freddie
Yeah.
Mercury. Even when they were already touring and they were already Queen, he lost his voice. He had to go back and learn to sing, and okay,
Yeah.
let's take time, let's develop it. We've already hit it, we've already made it, but here he is, at the height in the beginning,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he goes back.
Oh yeah.
You don't have that anymore. What happened to you? You lost your voice. See you later.
Exactly. It's like, well, that's not going to happen, and especially with rock music now, I think it's definitely at a low point because of those reasons. It's like, there's a lot of bands that are huge historic bands that, let's take Aerosmith for example. Their first couple records didn't do good,
Right.
and the record company was about ready to drop them, but they used to look at it as a long-term investment.
Yes.
So they didn't drop them. The first 3 records didn't meet their expectations, but then it did, and I mean, and they're still a band, and they're one of the best American rock bands ever, and
That's
if
right.
they were signed today, they would have lost it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know?
Just real quick note, because I got to take a quick commercial break. Remind me of a story I heard about Neil Diamond. Here's Neil Diamond.
Yeah.
Forever he's been a singer. His records never sell well,
No.
but his concerts, they had like 10 days, and I don't even know how he keeps singing after like 5-6 days.
Yeah, yeah.
But they probably would have dropped him, right away. Your CDs don't do well. But they never have, which is fascinating. Great point what you're saying.
Thank you.
All right. Again, MK, thanks for coming in. I got to take a quick commercial break.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, well, this is Gus Summers, and you've been listening to The In Show. We have in-studio guest MK Ultra, and I promise we will listen to his music. Just love getting his insight into the music industry because he is in the midst of it. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, so you hang in there. We'll be right back. And this is Gus Summers, and you've been listening to the In Show. We have in-studio guest MK Ultra. MK, great insight, great stories. What a great
you.
career you've had.
Yeah.
Your music's great, which we're going to play another song right now. But do want to give you a quick moment, because I know you have some upcoming things. Tell
Yeah.
me about those things.
Well, I'm doing some other promotional radio stuff, like 4 more this month to promote my company's showcase at Trip in Santa Monica, and that's on January 25th, I believe. I don't have my calendar on me, but we're going to be promoting that really hard. I'm playing, Shane Alexander's playing, and Flower Glass is playing, that are all part of the Substance Co. Visionary family. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then after that, in February, I'll be performing 2 songs at the Artists in Music Awards, which is Mikey J's award show, and I'm up for Best New Artist and Best Alternative. So get on that site and vote if you can.
Okay.
But winning to me has really meant nothing.
All right.
I'm glad to be recognized with all these award shows that I've been a part of, but it's like, well, I guess I kind of lied. Winning does matter, but the thing is I don't think music should be a contest, because it's an art form. It's like putting a painting next to each other and
Right,
saying
yeah.
which one's better, because it's art. It's like someone may love my stuff, but in the same category may hate someone else's, and vice versa, just because it's like alternative, the category is very broad. It
Right.
can be
Yes.
anything, and you see that in the Grammys too.
Right.
It's like Tom Waits is back up for last year. He was for best rock album and stuff, and I'm a huge Tom Waits fan, but it's like really he's a more of a blues artist and innovator,
Right.
So
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. And then that's what I try to express to a lot of people. And using your analogy about art, what do you prefer, a Degas, a Rembrandt, a Van Gogh?
Yeah.
We each have our own preference, our
Taste.
taste. Yeah, exactly. But if you can get past that and say, but it's all art, and it's beautiful that they were able to
Yeah.
create the way they do,
Exactly.
or did, and that's how I look at music. I love everyone's music.
yeah.
There's music I prefer, of course, but I can see the effort and the
Yeah.
discipline it took to create this, and I go, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just to see the art behind it. I think that's what a lot of people miss, that I can't listen to, what have you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I tell you, when I grew up on country music, honking tonk of all things,
Yeah, yeah.
rock and what have you, but look at how big the music has become.
Oh yeah.
There isn't just one particular genre. I don't like it. No, you got to look past it.
Yeah.
See what they're saying.
I mean, I'm a fan of every genre. I love
Right.
country music. I love electronic music. I love rock music. I love southern rock.
Yeah, right.
I'm just a person of
Everybody.
everything, and mine is more of compared to like. A lot of people say it's like 9 Inch Nails mixed with Smashing Pumpkins, and
Nice, yeah.
The reason I pick the type of music I do is because I know what I'm good at, And I
Right,
think that's with
right.
a lot of people that love a ton of music. It's like, I don't think I could cut it as a country star,
And today's country is like the '70s pop stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's what
it's
it is.
stadium rock right now.
Yeah, it
you
is.
know?
It's big. I go, hey, I remember that
Yeah,
sound. I've been
it's
around.
majorly produced. It's basically, it's closer to like 80s glam and all that sort of stuff than
Yeah.
rock and roll is today, and that's fine. They got basically country got into the show business.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, there was only a few people who really hit it. Like I remember Conway Twitty with his big giant buzz. They had all
Yeah,
these.
yeah.
But yeah, exactly. But we still have a little time, so I want to play one more song of yours. We were talking about Killing Angels. You want to do that one?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about this guy.
Well, this is actually the story of me getting into the accidents and whatnot, the car accidents, and a lot of other stuff was happening. I was in a very bad relationship at the time, and it's like I moved here, and it's like the stuff happened that kind of tests you in life, but you have to be strong enough to get past it, and it's like when I wrote the song, I was, I find the best songs come when you're really emotional, so this song just kind of flowed out of me, while that time in my life.
Wonderful. And I think you said it perfectly right there. It just flowed out of you. It was just the moment that the song was there.
Yeah.
And it came out beautiful.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the way I write songs. Is first they come in my head, then I write lyrics or sit down with a piano or guitar or bass or whatever and work out the song. Usually I, find out what's going to drive the song, get all the tones in my head, that's how I write is things will just come to me while I'm driving or about ready to go to sleep,
Right. When the mind is at a relaxed state or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful. All right. So here's MK Ultra and his song Killing Angels.
After the accidents, they gave me some white pills. I don't even know what they're for. Really, I'm not sure. Next thing I'm blacked out and asking who I am. I guess it's my welcome to the city of angels. Point your guns to the sky and watch them fall. Point your guns to the sky and watch them fall. You're killing angels and watching them bleed. You're killing angels, yeah, the ones that watch over me. I'm gonna clean up and put a fake smile on my face. Gotta just keep up with everyone. It's such a fast pace. Tell my girl to put the mark on speed dial. Just let my loved ones hammer in the last nail. Point your guns to the sky and watch them fall. Point your guns to the sky and watch them fall. You're killing angels and watching them bleed. You're killing angels, yeah, the ones that watch over me. I gotta sleep right now.
MK, fantastic.
Thank you, man.
Fantastic. Like you said, your music just has that wonderful, just softness to it. You know, I don't know if that's
Yeah.
the word you, you
Well,
probably want to hear, but I think you catch what I'm throwing
Yeah,
out
I
there.
mean, you know, I try to mix ambient and like sad sounds with you know, contrast sounds that contrast that.
Right.
You know, and you know, most people listen to my music and I find it a big compliment. They're like, I don't even know how to classify this genre and your music in a genre, and I think that's the biggest compliment in the world, because it's like I'm creating something new.
Yeah.
You know,
Fantastic.
and you know, I'm just glad people are enjoying it.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely. Well, you got a big fan here at the end show.
thanks, man.
You're welcome. You know, we only got about a couple more minutes. Do want to give you a chance to talk about your Facebook and Twitter, because I know you're out there.
Sure, yeah. My Facebook is facebook.com/mkultramusic.gov. And, yeah, that goes back to the MK Ultra thing with the .gov. My website is mkultramusic.net. Twitter is mkultra_Travis. Travis is my real name. And, yeah, I got a Bandcamp up now with the album at a very discounted price for the holiday season. I'm going to keep it up there for a little longer. Album you can find on iTunes, Amazon, stores, you know, they'll order it, so if they don't have it in stock. So, you know, please check it out. Worked really hard on it, and you know, a lot of people forget how much work and money it takes to record a song.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, definitely. MK, again, you know, thank you for you know, coming in and sharing your music and your story and your insight.
Yeah.
You know, fantastic.
Well, thank you, Gus. I had an amazing time.
Oh, great to hear. Great to hear. Hey, well, this is Gus Summers, and you've been listening to The In Show. We had in-studio guest MK Ultra, and, of course, be sure to look for him on all those great social media sites and connect and download his music. Of course, visit us at theinshow.com, where you'll be able to hear this interview and everything else that we've been doing. Of course, look for us on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, LinkedIn, all those great social media sites. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Gus has left the building.